Well, 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 Hollywood's Achilles heel is back, the Jurassic Park franchise. What at this point may be one of the weaker franchises in film history. With the latest installment, Jurassic World Rebirth, we're now 7 movies deep. However, Universal is still batting under 500 here, because Rebirth does the franchise no favors. In my opinion, Jurassic Park/World only has 2 good films. As for the other 5, haha. On the bright side, I guess, at least Rebirth is better than Dominion, which isn't saying much. But an upgrade is an upgrade, so I'll give Gareth Edwards and company credit where credit is due. Nonetheless, I find Rebirth as yet another unbearable entry. And that's unfortunate for Edwards. He's made some pretty good blockbusters over the years, including one of my favorite monster flicks in Godzilla 2014. So today, let's talk about Jurassic World Rebirth, and I'll explain why I think the latest installment is an absolute joke. Okay, I mentioned how the Jurassic Park franchise overall has been pretty bad. In my eyes, the last good film was The Lost World. Since then, it's been anything other than pleasant. I made a video last year about how bad it's gotten for Jurassic, so go check it out. I'll leave the link above for you. With all of that being said, when Rebirth was announced about 18 months ago, I shouldn't have been surprised, but at the same time I was. Dominion ended Jurassic's second trilogy, and after their first trilogy ender, Jurassic Park 3, Universal took a 14-year break. So I was taken back to see they were making a 4th entry to the Jurassic World story. Plus, Dominion was so bad, I didn't think they'd bother making a 4th film quickly. We know money talks though. Yeah, the Jurassic World trilogy made some serious cash. Anyway, back in February, the official trailer for Rebirth dropped, and well, the entire movie gets spoiled in the trailer. You don't even have to watch the film if you've seen the trailer. Regardless, that didn't stop people from getting excited. And you know what happened next? Many fans left the theater angry post-Rebirth. They actually thought Rebirth was going to be good. Really? After that disaster Dominion, I had zero hope for the franchise, and the official trailer did not get me hype one bit. This whole time I expected it to be bad, and what do you know? It's borderline terrible. Alright, there's a decent amount to cover, so I'll go through everything as fast as I can. Let's begin with what I mentioned a little ago, the trailer. The trailer literally made it so easy for me to predict exactly what is going to happen in the movie. Therefore, when I saw the film, I knew what was coming. This is such a predictable blockbuster. I guessed correctly who's going to die, how multiple scenes would end, how the plot would unfold, and how it would come together during the finale. They did an awful job surprising the audience. There is absolutely not a single thing here that caught me off guard. The only shocking element to this is how much time they dedicate to characters I don't care about. Speaking of characters, Scarlett Johansson plays the main character, and I can't even remember her name. She's very forgettable. There's nothing to her character. I wouldn't have cared if she died or not. To make matters worse, she screams half the movie. So not only is she forgettable, but she's also annoying. The rest of the characters are basic too. You got the greedy corporate guy who's in each Jurassic Park film, there's a scientist, some mercenaries, and an annoying-ass family I hated with a passion. I swear Universal has a quota to include at least one kid in every Jurassic Park movie. I also find it hilarious how, despite only having known the family for approximately 10 minutes, some of the characters care about them way more than they should. I'm sorry, but if my life were on the line, I wouldn't care what happened to the stupid family I met for 10 seconds. I'm getting the hell off the dinosaur-infested island. Another aspect that's quite brutal about Rebirth is how slow-paced the film is. It takes roughly 45 minutes for something to happen. Mostly before that, you're stuck with the terrible characters I spoke about. Like as if I care. If you're not gonna bother strongly developing them, just show me some dinosaurs eating people instead. It's all talk, talk, talk with no interesting plot devices thrown in there. As a matter of fact, why is the family in this? If they focus solely on the mercenary group, that would already make for an improved viewing experience. I feel like the family was a completely unnecessary addition. Cut them and voila, better film. Why not have 20 plus people on the expedition, similar to The Lost World, rather than a small group of mercenaries plus the family? When it comes to the action sequences, I'll admit, I had fun as I always do when the action is on screen. However, once again, Universal takes no risks. You receive your typical dramatic dinosaur action with no surprises and no scares. A big reason why it's this way every time is because, well, all the Jurassic Park/World movies are rated PG-13. They can only do so much and push the boundaries so far. What should be a terrifying carnage fest, instead is a series of close calls. I mean, most characters are on the verge of brutally getting eaten like 10 times, but nope, gotta keep that PG-13 rating. So in turn, they make it more dramatic while having very few scary kills. Remember when people thought Rebirth was going to be reminiscent of a horror? Yeah, right, in your dreams. By the way, will the Mosasaurus ever eat someone again, or will it just remain something cool to look at? Real quick before we continue, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe and turn on all notifications for upcoming videos. Finally, at the end of the day, Jurassic World Rebirth doesn't add much new to the franchise. What was the point of this? Why even bother? And why call it Rebirth? Not only is this not the birth of a new direction for the franchise, but it also builds towards absolutely nothing to follow up. I'm sorry, clearly Universal cares about one thing and one thing only: money. Let's hope that Rebirth underperforms, forcing them to change directions for the franchise. I'm gonna kill myself! Now luckily, Rebirth was not a case of disappointment, because I went in thinking it was gonna suck. What ultimately disappoints me is Universal's decision to keep this Jurassic World run alive. I think the best decision they could make from here is to let the franchise breathe for 7 to 10 years. Then either reboot everything, or give us what we want, an actual scary Jurassic Park movie. I would love for an R-rated adventure. But that likely will never happen if Universal continues rolling in dough with these things. In conclusion, Jurassic World Rebirth was the least surprising movie I've seen all year. It's predictable from beginning to end, has no shockingly scary moments, there's a plethora of boring characters you couldn't care less about, including a family, and what is the reason for Rebirth's existence? It feels like a one-off story that we didn't need. It doesn't build towards a new chapter, or anything else. It's just kind of there. So now, I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Do you agree with my opinion on Jurassic World Rebirth? Is this an exciting new take on the franchise, or did it leave much to be desired? Let me know in the comments. Well, thank you so much for watching this review of Jurassic World Rebirth. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and leave a like if you enjoyed yourself. I'll catch you all in the next one. See you then.